July 7, Manuel Ugarte, Sporting CP to PSG, €60 million. The Portuguese club may feel that they could have got even more money for a player that was so keenly pursued by both Chelsea and PSG. Both clubs were more than willing to meet the €60 million, £52m/$64m, buyout clause in Ugarte's contract, and, in the end, the race for his signature was decided by the size of the salaries on offer. In an ideal world, Sporting would have kept the Uruguayan for another season. July 6, Milan Skriniar, Inter to PSG, free. An avoidable shambles. Pep Murata has earned plenty of deserved praise over the years for picking up free transfers, but losing Skriniar for nothing does not reflect well on him or his employers. There are obviously two sides to every story, and the player's agent has copped plenty of flack for his conduct during this long, drawn-out affair, but the fact of the matter is that Skriniar's future should have been resolved 2 years ago. July 6, Marco Asensio, Real Madrid to PSG, free. This might not be anything like as big a blow as Karim Benzema leaving Los Blancos, but it is a setback. Sure, he's not a regular, but it's not easy finding a player of Asensio's quality willing to spend so much time sitting on the bench. Madrid even acknowledged the Spaniard's outstanding conduct during their parting statement. Madrid did their best to hold on to the winger, or at least persuade him to sign an extension so as to avoid losing him for nothing. July 7, Manuel Ugarte, Sporting CP to PSG, €60 million. The Portuguese club may feel that they could have got even more money for a player that was so keenly pursued by both Chelsea and PSG. Both clubs were more than willing to meet the €60 million, £52m/$64m, buyout clause in Ugarte's contract, and, in the end, the race for his signature was decided by the size of the salaries on offer. July 5, Mason Mount, Chelsea to Manchester United, £60 million. Another unwanted player off the payroll. The way in which Mount has plummeted down the pecking order at Chelsea is puzzling. At one point, he looked like the kind of homegrown hero they'd build a new, winning team around. Yet last season he scored just 3 goals and spent the majority of his time on the bench. So, whatever one thinks about Mount's attributes as a player, as soon as he became expendable, it was important to secure as big a fee as possible for him before he entered the final year of his contract. Chelsea have done exactly that, getting £60 million for a player that was rightly or wrongly surplus to requirements. Job done. July 5, Jurrien Timber, Ajax to Arsenal, £35 million. A bitter blow to their backline. Timber has been a regular in the Ajax starting lineup for the past 2.5 years and was absolutely outstanding during their 2021-22 title-winning campaign, at the end of which he was voted Eredivisie Player of the Season. The Amsterdam outfit are renowned for churning out one tremendous talent after another, and while the fee is not exactly pittance, replacing such a talented and versatile ball-playing defender will not be easy. July 4, Declan Rice, West Ham to Arsenal, £105 million. A wonderful windfall. West Ham have secured a pure profit, British record fee for a player that they signed as a teenager following his release by Chelsea and immediately after he helped them win a first major European competition for nearly 60 years. And maybe the best thing about the transfer is that no objective observers are really quite sure if Rice is worth the money. It's essentially the dream deal for any mid-level club. July 4, Roberto Firmino, Liverpool to Al Ahly, free. Sorry to see Firmino leave, but grateful for all the memories. Jurgen Klopp could no longer guarantee the Brazilian starts, but he clearly wanted to keep one of his greatest servants for at least another year, and one can understand why. The 31-year-old may no longer be the indefatigable force of nature he once was, but he would have made for one hell of a rotational player, as underlined by the fact that he's still chipped in with 13 goals in his final, injury-interrupted season. There will also be some regret that he wasn't under contract, given Al Ahly probably would have paid over the odds for Firmino, as Saudi teams have already done with several other big-name players on the wrong side of 30 this summer. As it is, they've lost a club legend for nothing. July 4, Vitor Roque, Atletico Paranaense to Barcelona, €35 million. Rapid reward for a serious show of faith in a teenager. Atletico only signed Vitor Roque last April, and for a club record €4.4 million, £3.7m/$4.5m. They've now agreed to sell him for roughly 8 times that figure, which can't be considered as anything but good business. Even better, they've ensured that Vitor Roque will remain at the club until the conclusion of the current campaign, which is a huge boost, with Atletico in the midst of another serious assault on the Copa Libertadores, after finishing as runners-up last year. The one regret? Maybe that they didn't manage to set that buyout clause a little higher. July 3, Marcelo Brozovic, Inter to Al Nassr, €18 million, a necessary evil. A fully fit Brozovic is quite clearly one of Inter's best players, as he proved in the Champions League final against Manchester City in Istanbul, where he was arguably the best player on the pitch. But the fact of the matter is that Inter have financial issues, and they deemed €18 million for a 30-year-old midfielder that had injury issues last season too good to turn down. July 3, Sandro Tonali, AC Milan to Newcastle, £60 million. Yet another sensible and shrewd signing. Indeed, when it comes to state-sponsored clubs and squad building, Newcastle are pretty much the anti-PSG. It is, of course, a sizable fee, but Tonali is a 23-year-old Italy international coming off the best season of his club career to date, with the all-action midfielder playing a pivotal role in AC Milan's run to the semi-finals of the Champions League. He has both the character and quality to excel under Eddie Howe. July 2, Dominik Szoboszlai, RB Leipzig to Liverpool, €70 million. Mixed emotions, no doubt. A talented team that has just won back-to-back DFB Pokal trophies, as well as qualifying for next season's Champions League, is now in danger of being ripped apart, with Christopher Nkunku having already left for Chelsea and Josko Gvardiol being courted by Manchester City. But, at the end of the day, this is the Red Bull business model, and it most definitely works for them. They've just received a club record fee for a player they signed from sister club Red Bull Salzburg for €20 million in 2021, and that money is likely to be put to good use. July 1, Nicholas Jackson, Villarreal to Chelsea, £32 million. Pure profit on a player with a lot still to prove. The Youth Academy product only officially became a member of the senior squad last August and definitely wouldn't have commanded such a lofty fee had it not been for a scoring spree at the tail end of last season, which saw Jackson net 9 times in 8 Liga games. It's never easy letting go of a homegrown hero, but Villarreal will be counting their blessings here, not least because Bournemouth were only offering £20 million for Jackson when injury intervened and scuppered a proposed January transfer to the Vitality Stadium.